Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Incompetent Nerds. I'm your host, Tank, with another great guest of mine who's always reoccurring and is always getting me drunk. None other than my boy D.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We back at it again. I love doing this. Let's get it done.
He bought the bottle of JMO. We got some Coronas. We're about to have a cast. And he works tomorrow at like 3 in the morning, so it's supposed to be fun for him.
That's right. Let's do it.
All right, D. First shot of the day.
All right. Salute.
Salute.
Ooh.
So, after that first shot, you had a story to tell me.
Oh, yeah. All right, so everybody, all the viewers. All right, so this is how you not impress your girlfriend's parents. So, all right, so I was about to meet my girlfriend's parents for the first time, right? Since we've been going out for like 8 or 9 months around that time now.
Yeah.
So then she's like, hey, meet us at this restaurant and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. So, but before I leave, I look at my account. It's like $200 in it. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm about to pay for everything. Everything's fucking solid. I'm great. Mm-hmm. So I go down there. She has her mom, dad, and her brother. I'm getting along with everybody.
So
cracking
this is like
jokes.
big brother or little brother?
Little brother.
Little brother, okay.
Yeah, because she's the oldest one out of the family. Well, out of, the babies or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, her brother's like 15 years old. Super cool kid.
Yeah.
So I'm getting along with everybody. The bill comes. Everybody looking crazy and shit, like looking around.
Yeah.
And I'm just going like, you know what? Oh, that bill $80? Oh, bet.
I got this.
I got this. Simple. So then, my girl, she's like, elbowing me and shit like that. Because she was like, no, we should like share the tab. And I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not about to argue in front of your parents. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So we both pay, split it in half. The waiter brings back the cards and was like, hey, one of these were declined. And I was like, oh, shit. So my card was declined, bro. So I'm like, fuck.
That is not a good way.
Right. I look at my account again. And I'm looking like, okay, I still got $200. I'm straight.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, they're probably just tweaking. Run that shit back. And then he hit my ass with that, yeah, it's denied again. I'm like, oh, shit.
Something's not right.
Oh, shit. And I'm just out here panicking. I'm like, fuck. I feel embarrassed as fuck.
Of course.
I went straight into the bathroom and called. And then it was like, somebody was basically trying to make like a $400 worth of purchases or some shit like that in Canada. We stopped it. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
You fucking Canadians.
Right. But I was trying to plead with the lady because I'm looking like, look, just let this fucking purchase go through and freeze it back. And she's like, no, motherfucker.
We can't.
That ain't how shit work. They can't just unfreeze and then freeze. So I'm like, fuck. So then I'm in the bathroom. So my girl was like, do you want my parents to just pick it up, the other half? And I was like, damn.
You gotta do that walk of shame.
Fuck, yeah. So now I'm looking like a bum ass, a fucking bum in front of like her parents and shit.
You bum bastard. You
right. You dirty bum.
You dong dirty son of a bitch. You broke, good for nothing motherfucker.
Trifling broke. Ain't never gonna have shit.
Ain't never gonna be shit. Ain't never gonna do shit. Daddy looking at you coming with all types of names like my daughter is dating this dumb broke
motherfucker.
Bald-headed motherfucker.
God damn. But, alright, so then we all head back to the crib. And because my girl, she lives in the next building over from me. So I was just going to just take my L, go in the house, and just like fucking cry that shit out like a man.
I'm going to go home and sit in the corner of the shower and cry.
Exactly. But when you cry like a man, you got to cry when you alone. You can't be like in front of people crying. You got to save that shit for when you're alone in the house. But she was like, no, can I come over? And I was like, fuck. So...
Crying her arms.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I'm super sad, embarrassed, and I'm pissed. And then she was tweeting, I mean not tweeting, she was basically like texting her mom and shit like that. And then it was like, oh, we fucking love D'Angelo. And it was like, shit happens. And I was like,
oh my God.
Woo.
Tell your folks I'll get them back. I'll give them the $40 back. Once
right.
Shit, I'm fucking them freezes.
Right. Because it was, yeah, man. But that's the whole story.
Oh man.
But I was like, damn, they're gonna think I'm a fucking bum, like leeching off
Their daughter. Yeah, no, I would feel the same way too. If I was in your position, I would feel the same way. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
I will be pissed. But then also, if I was the side of the parents, especially being the dad, having those daddy tendencies, they'll be like, this motherfucker.
This trifling
he came up with this motherfucking story.
Right.
He could be like, no, everything was going good. I like the guy. He's a good guy. Pretty well for my daughter. That happens. Fuck him.
Fuck him. He's a bum.
Leave him as soon as possible.
Right.
Give me back my $40 and then leave his ass.
Oh
man. No, but it's good that, even though it was for you a bad impression, especially that shit happened, because that's an embarrassing shit.
Hell yeah.
But at least they acknowledge the situation and actually, are forgiving and be like, it's cool.
Yeah.
We like D. Shit happens. We understand. And that shit is becoming more and more prominent. Like, stealing cards, I think, for me, I never really had that attempt.
Yeah.
But I'm with my bank. I'm not going to say who because I'm not trying to get targeted.
Right.
But I think my account has been used before. Compromised. Yeah. And my bank has, like, seamlessly just, like, stopped it, halted it, and then sent me a new card. They'll hit me up with an email saying your new card is on the way.
Wow, that's dope.
Like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I call and check, and that's because, you had there was a purge somewhere in fucking Idaho, but you had a previous purge and a current purge in Chicago. Like,
that's what they said about me.
Yeah, that something doesn't make sense, so we froze it. So whatever that person tried to do, we denied it, and we're sending you a new card. But I noticed that my account was never frozen.
Ah, okay.
So,
yeah, because what they told me was, they was like, we saw that there was a transaction at Subway in Chicago around like 9 o'clock. And I'm like, yep, that's when I bought my fucking sub. That was me. And then there was like, there was a $400 something transaction in Canada. And it was like, nah.
Like, Chicago at 9 something, Canada, and then another purchase in Chicago. This motherfucker did not go to Chicago to Canada and come back within a couple hours.
Right. So they was like, yeah, we're just going to freeze it. And then they actually called me earlier around like 11:30. But I'm such a goddamn idiot. I don't pick up phone numbers that I don't know. So I was just like, fuck it. Just let it happen. I don't care who they are. They don't leave a message. But I should have picked up the goddamn phone to know, like, hey, we froze your account because of this. And yeah.
That would have warned you from going ahead of time, like, oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah, that would have sucked. But what about, like, going into a Chase or whatever, your bank? Like, going into any bank, be it Chase, Bank of America, TCF, if they would have froze your account, because you did not say what bank you're with. Yeah. But just to keep it under wraps.
Right.
Were you able to tell them, like, is it possible that you could go to said whatever branch and pull money out? Would that be fine?
Yeah, well, here's the thing that they said. So they can't, like, freeze, unfreeze, and then freeze.
Yeah.
So pretty much what they were saying was, just wait until all of your, like, checks come in from both of your jobs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then that's when we'll unfreeze, make the withdrawal, and then reopen a new account, give you everything else.
Yeah.
That was their approach, because it was like, if you do it now before the checks hit, that means that your businesses that you work for, pretty much, they have to redisperse those checks.
Yeah.
And there's no telling how long that's going to take. Yeah. So it's best for it, to hit the account first. So that's what I did. Okay. So I was like 3 days without like $0 until I got my check.
They had those sweats.
Right.
I got bills to pay.
Right. It was intense. Yeah. In fact, it was like 5 days because it happened on Wednesday. And then I got paid on Monday. So I had to just go through it.
Yeah. Basically a work week.
Yeah.
Shit.
But, hey, it was worth it,
Yeah.
I'm just glad everything's resolved. Let's get these fucking Canadians out of here.
Build the wall, Canada.
Right.
Build
Let's
that wall.
Out of here.
build that wall in Canada.
They think this shit way too sweet now. Taking my fucking identity and shit.
Yeah, identity theft is not fun. Right. A friend of mine's got her Instagram account hacked.
Oh,
and couldn't prove to Instagram that she is who she is and she owns the account. So she's like, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and create another account. She created another account. That one got hacked.
Wow.
As soon as she created it. So she created a third one. And my boy was telling me all this shit. I was like, yo, what's up? Why does she have a new account? He goes, oh, it got hacked. I was like, what? Wow. So I go to her account. I felt bad. I see all her pictures, but then I see a Homer Simpson fucking picture as the profile.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, she's not that type of person to throw Homer Simpson on the
Right.
profile picture. But basically, it was hacked. Bless you.
Thanks.
So I was telling him, like, hey, tell her about the second or, the two-factor or second, authentication. They set that up. I'm like, I have all that shit set for my accounts.
Right.
My bank, my
As you should.
my social media, everything. Everything has a two-factor. Hell, even my PlayStation has a two-factor
Right. You should.
authentication. And that's, being on the safe side. I hope my mother, you only get one blessing, motherfucker.
I know, man.
I help my family, like my mom, my girlfriend, everybody, helping them with like setting that up, making sure that they don't get hacked too. I'm like,
Right.
set this shit up and just use it, use this or use this type of method so that way it's more secure
Right.
and a motherfucker can't get into your account.
Exactly.
Because the sad thing is like, okay, oh wow, it's my social media account. Who cares? That's a lot of information, especially
Yeah.
depending on the type of person you are. You put some of them ask for, home addresses, depending if you shop through them.
Right.
For example, Facebook, if you shop through Facebook,
Right.
you have home addresses for deliveries and shit like that. If you're on Instagram, you got your phone number in there. Snapchat's a phone number. You want to make sure all this is set up. You want to make sure all, back doors are locked too. Not just the
Right.
front door. You want to make sure the back door is locked.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's a new gold rush in 2019, and that's personal data.
Oh,
That's definitely the gold rush right now.
Personal data. And it's funny how data, and I just love how this transition went from what's going on. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's
It's
perfect
just-
transition.
It's funny how, because data, a person, just, you wouldn't think like, I'm nothing. I'm just a piece of shit guy working at wherever, working at, Acme Incorporated. Nobody knows me. I'm nothing.
Right.
That doesn't mean your data's worth anything.
Exactly.
Your data is worth more than you think.
True.
Because you have Social Security, credit card numbers, if you have, any credit card, debit card numbers, information on past, present, or possible future events, things like that. So having like, okay, I got these information, I got his Facebook, I got his Instagram, I got his Snapchat, I got all his information. He's planning on going to this shop, he's going here, maybe we could send some ads to him, could sell his information to so-and-so, try to get him to buy things, this person is possibly worth a good $2,000 or maybe $10,000 or $20,000, and that's just information. That's showing that the new not currency, but the new like precious item on the market is personal data. It's data instead of like gold.
Yeah, because with data, I can know everything about you because we both work in the whole IT field.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty much dealing with, automation and stuff like that. And it's pretty much like,
which is gonna take over my job.
it's going to take over mine too, shit.
It's fucked up to
I'm
work in the
building shit to
field.
like get rid of my own job.
Yeah, but then we'll move on. Man, at first I was against what's it called, a basic income.
Yeah.
No, what's it?
Oh, the UBI,
Universal Basic. First I was like kind of against
freedom
it.
dividend. Yeah.
I was kind of against it, but now it's like, yo, it's gonna make a lot harder for people with certain skills with automation taking over. And know what's funny? People will start, robots gonna come and take over the blue collar jobs. Know what's fucked up?
What?
Automations take over white collar jobs before they take over blue collar jobs.
Right.
And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Even fucking I was watching documentaries that about automations and robotics and everything. When they started making robots for factories for making cars, they were saving money. Now you're eliminating certain blue collar jobs.
Right.
And people thinking at that time like blue collar jobs are gonna be a thing in the past. Nobody's gonna need a weld, or nobody's gonna need a brick build, or do this or do that. In reality, those jobs are high in demand, and no robot or whatever can do certain things like that.
Right.
I think recently now, but I remember watching the documentary. No robot can brick build at this point.
Right.
I think recently there was an industry that started building a robot to start brick building because it was a complicated. It was a complicated thing where you add the clay, put the brick, add the more whatever they call it, the clay, the cement. You gotta add it. Keep going with that process. A robot couldn't do that at that time.
Right.
It's 2019. I bet you right now we look up a robot.
I could program something to do that. That's simple.
And that's a big market.
Yeah.
Construction is a big market. If you could automate construction, you're going to kill a lot of jobs. You're going to make a lot of blue collar people really mad.
Right.
But then again, you making that pretty penny.
Right, and that's the thing, though.
And you might be assassinated.
Right.
What happened to D? Oh, he got hung. He hung
Right.
himself. What? Tell you the truth, I don't think he actually did it.
Right.
He sold a contract, made billions of dollars. 2 weeks later, motherfucker woke up dead.
Right.
Woke up? How you wake up dead?
Right. I just woke up like, oh shit, I'm dead.
No, I was talking to my mom. It was funny because we were laughing. My grandmother started off this conversation of, she was like, man, if I ever pass away soon, she goes, if I ever pass away, I want to at least go to my sleep. I don't feel anything, just die in my sleep.
Right.
And my mom was like, hey, why are you talking about that now?
Right.
But it triggered a dark side of me, the dark joke, which was,
Oh shit.
which is white people, yeah, he died in his sleep. Black people, he woke up dead.
Right.
And I'm dying. Because it's
Exactly. Right. That's facts.
true. Because even Hispanics, some like ghetto ass Hispanics be saying the same shit too.
Yeah,
like,
woke up dead.
man, what happened to Javi? Woke up dead. Wait,
Right.
how you woke up dead?
Because you woke up and then you realized
You
like,
woke up,
damn,
you realized
I'm
you were
fucked.
dead, so you died. He woke up dead. I'm like, bro, he died in his sleep.
I have a way to fix this whole thing. All right, so
Sure.
we need to establish. All right, so we have to establish dead and then dead. All right, so dead is when you could die, but you could be brought back.
Okay.
So if you wake up dead,
So he
you know
dead.
you were dead.
Yeah.
Because you were still able to like wake up and then die, so you dead. But when you dead, it's like it's no
coming
fucking
back.
Yeah.
The Reaper has came and took your soul.
Right. So an example, which people are gonna hate me for, Jesus was dead, but he wasn't dead.
First of all, he was dead. He was gone.
Yeah, he was dead, but was he dead?
Okay, we're about to get real biblical in this motherfucker right now. All right, so Jesus of Nazareth.
Yes.
When he died.
He died.
He died.
Yeah, he was dead.
Well,
But was he dead?
There's theories that he was dead, but it was his ghost that appeared in front of them. Now the body disappeared. Supposedly it was to show that he was everlasting, but his ghost came to visit. Basically, his spirit.
Right.
The only thing is the Holy Trinity: Father, Son, the Holy
Right.
Spirit.
Father, Son, Holy
Three
Spirit,
names, one God.
Right.
3 names, but he's all in one, which is kind of weird. I
Yeah.
think it's no shot. My mom was a Catholic. No shot at Catholics, but I really feel they took a lot of inspiration off of Greco-Roman gods and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially the
That is
drawings
how it
of
is.
God. Why he looks like Zeus
Right.
or Odin.
Yeah.
A lot of the Christian holidays we celebrate.
They were actually coming from
Pagan.
yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
The celebration of Easter was actually the celebration of spring with dramatic celebration of Christmas. Jesus wasn't born in no winter. He was supposedly, I think he was born in the summer or something like that.
That was turned up before the whole Christmas, before it became Christmas. They would fucking drink, have sex, and just fucking ball the fuck out.
Because spring represent, for example, spring represent planting. It also represent sexual sexual desires or sex, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And also there was gods that worship it, because if you look at, there's some gods that represent that represent fertility. Doesn't mean for women's fertility, but also represents for earth.
Right.
So there was a lot of earth gods that that resemble with earth, crops, plants, but also representing women's fertility. So Demeter represented earth, flowers, and all this other stuff.
Right.
Hera, the queen of the gods, actually represented
from that.
motherhood.
Right.
But she didn't represent birth. It was Demeter.
And Dionysus, I believe, was like dance or something.
No,
like
Dionysus was wine. How the hell?
Oh, there we
Yo, excuse me, but and he was the only human being to become a god in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in Greek mythology, he was the only human being to become a god. Dionysus, the god of partying, wine, celebration, boom.
He turned up.
But he was also a fucked up type god as well.
Yeah.
Megatron was the only human to become an angel of the Lord in Hebrew mythology. Now, I would say mythology because it is, storytelling through mythology. Now, not to anger the crowds,
disprove or
not to
say
discrowd,
anything like that, but that's just the way it's really
that is the way-
articulated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, many Jewish folks who follow the Torah. I'm about to say Quran.
Torah.
Torah. I think it's called the Torah. I do.
We know our
apologize.
shit, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, the Torah. That Megatron was a follower of God. I want to say the Hebrew God, of course. Not the Hebrew. The Abrahamic God.
Right.
And he became an angel because of his works. I want to say it was because of his art and how faithful he was towards God, and how out of a godly man, a very godly man that he was to follow him. That he went from being a human being, I think, died, and was ascended into angelhood. Right. Not as a spirit wandering around heaven or anything like that, but as an angel, and being along with the other angels. There's even certain depictions of Megatron. It's funny how that word, and our nerdy selves think of fucking Megatron from Transformers.
Exactly, right.
But that's what it kind of deprived. It was Metatron. Metatron.
Right.
It was Metatron.
But that's what it deprived from in Transformers.
They changed the word from meta to mega.
Yeah.
So Megatron, Metatron.
Yep. But it was derived from that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Salud.
Salud.
Second shot. By the end of this bottle, we'll be. Oh man, it's just crazy. Like I don't like talking about religion, but I love talking about mythologies. Yeah. And I feel like it's great to talk about history. Mythology
is so goddamn dope.
Because it combines. It's like the stories of man trying to explain stuff that they couldn't explain. Even now, we create. For example, if civilization were to fall today and then regain in the future, they're gonna look at books. For example, they're gonna look at Marvel, DC comic books, and be like, these were the gods then. They worship these gods. Right. Spider-Man, he saved people, not even knowing that this was real or not. People think it's false. Right. Well, people in the future might think it's real. Like, okay, in modern day, in 2000 Manhattan or 1968, whatever, in Manhattan, there was a man who was able to climb walls and whatever. This was a mythology. He saved people. This was mythology. These could have been actual people. Like how we look at it as, oh, Hercules was just a was a mythical figure. He wasn't real until they actually found the shrine of Hercules in fucking France.
Right.
To show, like, wait a minute, this is a shrine dedicated to him, which means it actually was. There's a possibility that Hercules did exist. Right. Or a Herculean figure existed. Right. Like who created the story of Hercules. Now it just moves on. Like it moves on. It's just crazy, especially the idea that the pyramids were built thousands of years before than what we expected. Right. Which I always thought about this. And for me, I feel like it makes sense. Earth is like what? 2 billion years old? Yeah. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, we could Google it.
I'm gonna Google Earth. How old is Earth?
That's where Siri could come in.
Hey Siri, how old is Earth?
Hey Siri, how old is Earth? Hey Siri, how old is Earth?
Here's some information.
God damn it. I don't want to hit it down.
4.54?
Yep, 4.5 billion.
Yep, 4.5 billion. So, Earth has been, for the longest, has sustained life for billions of years, basically. Right. The idea of a civilization before us makes sense. Right. Well, I doubt we were the first civilization on Earth.
100% doubt.
And I doubt we'll be the last civilization on Earth. Right. Because life on Earth, as many times as we had extinction events on here, life is like a virus. It still figures out to live. Life figures a way, like Buddy from Jurassic Park. Right. Life figures a way to keep moving.
Exactly.
So if humanity's here today but it's gone tomorrow, something's gonna happen and a new life form will move on. Intelligent life form and next civilization is built. So for that long, the reason why we can't find certain creatures or whatever, certain things of intelligent civilizations before us, it's because billion years has passed. Right. And already it's not impossible, it's impossible to say that there was other civilizations before man. No, it's not, because look at Chernobyl. Right. It's only been about 30 years. Right. No, it was like 80 something. Yeah, 85. So it's been about, like that. Well, fuck it. It's been about 30 years. Right. And nature took over. Right. 100%. Nature took over. It doesn't, and it's gonna destroy. Chernobyl's gonna be gone. It took over within 30 years. Now, if you give it 1 billion years for life to a civilization starting, let's say Earth was 1 billion years old, intelligent life started, and civilization started.
Right.
Boom, it's booming, it's going great, it's, whatever. And then extinction level event happened. They either killed themselves or something happened. They wiped, or they left Earth, wiped everything off. Now, give it another, million years?
Right.
The slate has been wiped clean. All the structures that they built, everything's become whatever. And now we are getting those resources that they use, like metal and shit that's been rusted or whatever, or formed with the earth that changed. Things have changed. And it's just recycles.
Right.
What if we're either the first or the 500?
Right.
We don't know.
And here's what I honestly think. All right, so I have a little conspiracy, but I think most people will probably believe in me. All right, so I think that all of these like Greek gods and Christian gods and all of these gods that we
first of all, there's only one God in Christian.
I mean, well, you know what I mean, right? Basically, all of these prophets and stuff. I believe that everybody existed.
Yeah.
But the story may have been, exaggerated because it was. I believe with the Bible, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I believe that people wrote the Bible 200 years after Jesus died, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But it's like, if that's the case, then there could definitely be some misinterpretation there.
Yeah.
Because they're not really there at the moment seeing everything. Yeah. So I definitely think it's just misinterpretation in some ways.
Yeah, there's ideas that the Dead Sea Scrolls prove that the New Testament was being written maybe like a decade after Christ's passing. Okay. So it was written by his disciples. Okay. And that's why you have some disciples like Matthew, Mark, right. The disciples that were there next to him. You had some of their writings, and then you had the disciples of them, their disciples, like Titus, who was a disciple of, if I'm not mistaken, he probably was. I think he was a disciple of Matthew, but was also a follower in Christ and had contact with God. With basically he was like a prophet, right, with God and everything. So that could have been. Now, one thing, I'm not even gonna discuss that part, but because I'm about to trigger a bunch of people. But no, you can see that throughout, even the Quran was written by Muhammad by what? I think, what was it, like 100 years after Christ? Yeah, I want to say, or maybe 50 years after Christ, like the Quran was written. Yeah, and they even said that Jesus wasn't the Son of God, but that he was a prophet of God. Right, and they did follow his teachings because he had people. Think of Jesus as MLK, like he preached peace,
and I definitely believe that he existed.
He did not want, like, if Jesus of Nazareth was alive today or at any time and saw what man did in his name, he would be pissed. And
that's what brought me to another question that I wanted to rise out of you, because I know you don't like talking about these topics, on the podcast, and I kind of like forcing them out. Because I'm an asshole, but...
Well, if you're going to do that, I might as well take the shot.
All right. And after this one, I'm going to take a little break on shots.
All right. Salud. All right, senor, what's the question?
Do you think that Jesus wanted world domination by any means?
No. His preaching, his teachings was to show to man that you could worship the Lord. That you could worship the Lord without going to church or without following,
and that's what I got out of it, yeah.
They warned. Old Testament and New Testament warned about false prophets. Jesus warned about false prophets, saying that, be careful of false prophets. People will say shit. People will say stuff under my name. So, world dominance, I don't think was his thing. Right. His teaching, he wanted to teach the world of peace. Basically, that's what we get the love God, love people. When
Because I interpreted Jesus' message as, being peaceful and being accountable for your own actions.
Yeah.
And that you steer, where your life is going to go.
So there was...
That's how I interpreted it.
I forgot where in the Bible, but I do remember this. So his disciples told Jesus, the disciples told him, which commandments are the most important commandments to follow? Remember, we had the 10 commandments at the time.
Right.
And Jesus told them, you should follow all 10. But the most important ones, the very most important ones, is to love God and love people.
Right.
God always comes first, but you should also love people. And it was to show that he was peaceful in nature, and he was killed because he preached peace.
Right.
But also that he was becoming too powerful. The people were following him more than they were following the church, the established church at the time.
Right.
Church wasn't having it, and the Romans didn't care. The Romans thought, like, this guy, he's nothing.
Right.
And even if an uprising came, the Roman legion could just take him out. This is the height of the Roman legion as well.
Right.
So it moves on to the church, like, telling, I forgot the governor, but telling the governor of Israel at the time, we need to take him out. He needs to be killed for blasphemy or whatever charges that they were giving him. He needs to be tortured and killed.
Right.
Because he was rallying the people. He was giving them hope. He was telling them that, there's certain things you can and cannot do.
Exactly.
And also, you could still worship the Lord. You could still, do this and do that. And he was just basically practicing peace. And this was where Christianity birthed. And at the time, Christianity was considered a pagan religion. And that the Romans and anybody else didn't care about. There were a sect of religious people that, were getting off left and right. Until Constantine came and changed it. Where if you don't believe in Christianity, you will be taxed. And you got people who don't care for the religion or didn't bother with it. Be like, I'm Christian. And it was because they didn't want to be taxed.
Exactly.
And that's how it bloomed. It blew up. That's when you have the Roman Empire to the Holy Roman Empire. And even the ideal of... the fucker Constantine looking for the spear of destiny, or the spear that pierced Jesus' side, and supposedly the same spear that was able to, if you had the spirit, you had the power of God behind you, and you could have conquest. But I think the problem is with that comes to the person and their heart. Now I'm about to get real deep,
because I'm ready to get deeper on this, because there's one point that I was kind of like baiting you to say so we could get really, really deep into something. But
so the spear of destiny. First of all, it was a spear tip that pierced Jesus' side when he was being crucified to see if he was dead or alive.
Yeah.
Because when they said he's dead, as he was crucified, one of the Roman soldiers, who was actually nearsighted, he was damn near blind, walked up to him to see if he was dead. He grabbed his spear and stabbed him in the side, hoping to get a yelp, showing that, no, he's alive.
Right.
He stabbed him. Didn't say anything because he died. But the blood that spilled, because his blood was holy blood, he was of a virgin birth and of a holy birth.
Right.
The blood spilled in his eyes. And he was damn near blind soldier. Was able to see perfect, but was also able to see that this man was something special.
Right.
And became a believer of this man. Because of his blood, he was able to see.
Right.
Now that same spear, because it was dipped in his blood, was also blessed.
Mm-hmm.
But think of that spear like the
We're
Triforce.
So deep. This is good.
Yeah. Think of that spear, going nerdy terms. Think of the spear of the Triforce.
Yeah.
Anyone could wield the Triforce and wish for whatever they want. It doesn't matter if you're evil at heart or good at heart.
Right.
The spear of destiny, be if you're evil at heart or good at heart, it could do it. It brings wonders. Because having that spear of destiny, Constantine, that spear went to different phases and where it was being molded and changed.
Right.
So you had the original spearhead, then that was, it went from having a sword as, or as your arms to having a spear that was your arm. So Constantine wielded that spear. That spear had not just the original spear that pierced him, but also had an additional spear that overlapped it to make it longer.
Yep.
It had wiring around it
Yep, that's true.
to heal it. Yeah. And then it had one of the original nails that pierced Christ.
Right.
Embedded in the spear.
That's true. Yeah.
The other two nails was used in Constantine's armor. Mm-hmm. And that was to protect Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here comes the other part. That's because of him having...
We are some real fucking nerds.
Yeah, we are.
We are nerds in Christianity.
We're nerds in history. I'm a nerd in history. Not in Christianity, but I'm a nerd in history. But because it's a coincidence... People say it's a coincidence, but because of that, the empire kind of grew. That's when you had the Byzantine Empire that was part of the Romans, and the Roman Empire that was mostly on the west side, where the Byzantine was on the right side. It was split into two, but it was still the same empire. Constantine had that and was growing the empire and was build up all types of stuff.
Right.
Was expanding on the empire, was building up, and then it failed.
Right.
Hitler. Now the spear went to different hands, but now we're gonna head to Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler took the real spear of destiny that was being showed off at a French museum.
That's facts.
Took it. Now some say that the one that we currently have in storage or somewhere being showed off, some say it's a replica, some say it's real. They even tested it, and some saying there's a possibility it's a replica.
Right.
But Hitler had the real one. Now, since Hitler was dark of heart, after invading France, what happened to the Nazi Empire? That was becoming the Nazi Empire.
Right. It fell eventually.
It fell.
Yeah.
I feel like, and look at the Holy Roman Empire.
Right, it also fell.
Now, I felt like after the Spear of Destiny goes into whoever's hands, if you are dark of heart, it will grant you the power. But only in limited time. But if you were good of heart, and if you were good of heart, and you had a great plan that would benefit humanity and also God, it will bestow upon you the power to move forward and not fall. But because Hitler had that, thinking that it would grant him the power to create a Third Reich that will last 1,000 years.
Right.
Sorry, homie.
Right.
It's like your Third Reich only lasted a decade.
Right. And I wanted to go back to all the way to damn near the beginning of what you said was that what Jesus pretty much said was that, to love people was pretty much the idea. But I wanted to just kind of put eyes on that part because that's so fucking wise, and here's why. Because I believe when you hate somebody, you become who you hate.
Yeah.
And I grew up realizing the same people that hated their dad for leaving their mom...
They become like their dad.
Yeah, they become exactly like their fucking dad.
Which is
if
fucked
you
up
hate
because
your
it's
mom
true.
because she lies so much and everything like that,
you become
your fucking mom. If you hate bullies, you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna bully the fucking bullies. You become exactly who you hate. So it's important to love all people, not because it just sounds cool, but it's because you don't want to become that person.
No.
And you kind of want to be outside of that narrative of, hero and villain type of mentality. Because once you're in that world, you become what you hate.
A good quote is from The Dark Knight. This is still the nerdy side. But it's still a great quote.
So good.
I love it. And it goes, you either die as a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And it's true.
Fact. It's true.
Now, you don't have to die a hero.
That's so wise.
You don't have to die a hero. But it's like, you see it. Political figures who enter office with good intentions leave office with horrible intent. Will leave office because of horrible deeds that they've done.
Right.
In terms of, for example, you
become who you hate.
Like, what's his name? He was a great musician. He still makes music to this day. Let me look him up real quick. But... Yeah. He was working on Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
What's his name? He did a song which is known as the pedal song.
Oh shit.
Danny Elfman. And the song is I Like Little Girls.
Wow.
Now he created that song not for, and they call it the pedal theme, but that wasn't his theme. His theme was because during that time, I think in the late 80s, a lot of fucking politicians were being found with younger women.
Right.
Those that were, below the age of legal.
Right.
The legal age. So when he created that song, it was like a knock against them.
Right.
But then later that became the fucking pedal song because the internet happened. And the internet, all types of shit happens.
Right. But there's a reason in Jesus' words, though.
Yeah.
It's a reason.
Love God and love people. Love
It's a
God,
reason
God.
why that is.
No matter what.
It's no bullshit. It's the wisest shit ever said.
It's funny because if you break down the 10 Commandments, you really just broke down there 2.
Yeah. It's really 2 commandments.
Love
God
and love people. And that love people could be like
this is a great fucking podcast.
Like they say, worship no other God than the God himself. Worship, no worship false idols. Honor thy mother and father.
But it's
love
only
thy neighbor,
really 2 that matter.
Blah, blah, blah. All these other stuff. Yeah, the 10 Commandments. But
love
when Jesus came out of nowhere and said, thou shalt not kill. Like, I'm going to break it down to you. You love God and honor God. You love people and live with people.
Because if you love with people, you're not going to rape, you're not going to murder, you're not going to do any of those things.
No, because you show your love, your compassion. Right. He was basically preaching compassion.
That's exactly
basically, look at the Buddhist teaching.
And accountability in a way, which is the same as Buddha. They were all just teaching accountability for your fucking actions.
Exactly.
Hold yourself accountable. And that saves you from so much bullshit that goes on.
As you guys can see, this is another drunken freaking podcast. We're talking about religion, but I feel like we're going to move on to something else in a bit. Or we might stay in the religion topic. Mark, I'm sorry. I love you, bro. I'll see you in LA in a bit. Can't wait to have that podcast. D, you fucking suck.
Because I feel
that's going to be loud.
Look it's going to be loud as fuck. But it's like, I just want to talk about these things because these things are so goddamn important for fucking humanity. Like, it's no bullshit,
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Like,
love God, love people. That's all you really got to do. And you're solid.
I feel there's a third one in there that should be like, love God, love people, and honor the freaking environment as of right now. Look at Amazon.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that's happening and nobody's talking about it till now.
But I still respect Amazon, though, for their fucking hustle, though.
I'm not talking about Amazon, the website. I'm talking about Amazon, the forest.
Oh.
This guy.
I'm IT. I was ready to protect his ass. Like, he started from the fucking bottom.
Now he here. Oh, man. You know what? Before we move on, we should move on to that topic of the Amazon forest. But before we move on, listen to the words of our sponsor as I go grab a beer. EYF Cake, motherfucker. You're the sponsor.
All right. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm the sponsor,
Beer, I'll get you another beer.
Yes, please. All right, so if you guys want to hear more about, finances and this particular website that I have, even though I only have like 3 articles, but it's pretty much like, I'm not telling you what you need to do financially. What I'm trying to do is just teach you your options that you have. And I'm so drunk right now, so it's going to be hard to struggle through this. But I just want to give you all of the options that you need in order to be successful. So if you want to figure something out, or if you have any questions about something, you could pretty much go on the website and kind of get clarity on something before you make, a long-term decision. And that would be pretty much through investments. So if you want to know what the hell a stock really is and how to profit from it, you could definitely get that from me. Or if you want to talk about, what's an index fund or something like that, I definitely got you on that. But I just want to provide the actual information. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I just want to make sure that you make an intelligent decision.
And this episode is brought to you by EYF Cake. Now back to our regular program.
Right.
All right, so yeah, Amazon forest, and your ass is drunk.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna take a whole 2-hour break from these damn shots, man.
Hey, my mama's making flautas.
Oh, that's about to be good as hell.
Yep.
I definitely need that in my system because
she's already started, so after this we'll be done. We'll be even.
Because I'm definitely feeling that shit now. It's intense.
Yeah, I think we took those shots a little too fast. You know what I mean? I could handle something. Drink. I can handle whiskey. I can't handle tequila.
Oh, we should have got some tequila.
No, fuck you. First of all, I feel like me in the same boat when it comes to tequila. Like 2 shots, 3 shots, we're like, oh,
yeah.
fuck. I gotta throw up.
Or we need to get Spiritus, which is 96 proof or 95 proof.
Bro,
That's when you play the real game.
That's a game of life or death right there. You just every time you take a shot, you just spin the fucking tile to either life or death.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
But these religious figures, man, I'm telling you, like, and one thing I want to say is that all of these big religions, they kind of have some consistency in, you know, the way that they think and the way, you know, their beliefs are.
Yeah.
It's pretty much hold yourself accountable and love God, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much every damn religion wrapped up into, like, two things.
The thing is, a lot of religions preach compassion and love and trust and all these other things. But if you look at it, a lot of them are changed for the extremists.
Right.
You got Christian extremists, Muslim extremists, hell, even Buddhist extremists.
Yeah, because you have a lot of Buddhists. People think that they're so peaceful, but Buddhists, they waged war against Muslims and killed a lot of Christians and stuff like that in wars in different countries and stuff like that. So like, nobody's hands is clean.
No, none of these religious hands are clean.
Right. They killed a lot of people.
First of all, the Buddhists actually started off, the way it started off, it was very clean. It was very compassionate.
Right.
And because of the compassionate ways, Buddhist monks and, you know, priests, whatever, they were taken advantage of.
Exactly.
And even many times that they were getting targeted.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, they're weak. They're just showing them like compassion. We can
and that's exactly why. Yeah.
And that's when you had like Shaolin monks, you know, martial arts teachings. And they always were never the aggressor.
Exactly.
Some of them who turned their faces took that in training and fighting and, you know, were killing motherfuckers left and right.
Right. But people abuse power. That's human beings. That's not religion.
No, that's human beings.
Exactly. And I definitely want to just, you know, stress that. Mm-hmm. Because we blame the systems for everything, for the world falling and everything like that. But no, it's the individual
person,
human beings that fuck things up. It's not the system itself.
Yeah.
It's people that abuse this.
You know what's crazy? One man, it's crazy how you think like one person can't do anything, but one person can change fucking history. Hitler was one man.
He was one person.
You know, he pushed through the ranks during the Nazi Party when the Nazi Party wasn't even what it was going to become.
Exactly.
He changed it to what it was, and that was one man. And he had other people who were power hungry that were right behind him, and he gave them the power that they wanted.
Right.
And that's how they grew. Stalin, look at him.
Right.
Don't look at him because he was an ally. Because of his ass, he killed millions of people. He threw as many people in front of him, in front of the Germans, so that way he wasn't targeted.
Exactly.
And it's crazy, like, if you look at the war, and when you look at World War II, and there was a YouTube video about it showing the death toll and everything, how much it cost just to fight this fucking war. When you look at the Western Front, seeing the death tolls of the Germans, the British, the US, the French, all fighting in the Western Front.
Yeah.
What? It was bad. It was in the thousands.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to the Eastern Front and see the Germans fighting the Russians, holy shit, dude. The Germans and the Russians literally lost millions of people. With the Russians losing millions. With the Germans, I think, losing close to 1 million soldiers.
Damn.
That's the thing. Hitler fucked up thinking it was time to invade Russia and take the resources, take whatever resources that they needed. They wanted Ukraine for the fertile lands to farm and grow and feed the machine, and then they also wanted the Balkans for the was it the Balkans? No, the Falklands. I forgot whatever land, but it was a land that Russia had that had a lot of fucking oil. That was gonna feed their machines. That was gonna feed their machine. The food was gonna feed their soldiers. And that's how they could keep moving forward and continuing the war effort. And they thought the Russians were the worst fucking Europeans that they were, and that was it. But he failed. But yet that was one man who changed fucking history. And if you look at the World Wars, World War I, there was no evil figure. It was a bunch of fucking nations who were just wanted to fight each other because there was new weapons technology, and they wanted to show it off. With their artillery, with their gas, with fucking machine guns. And at that time, in that point of time, that was by far the most devastating war in human history. Then World War II comes around. And the reason why World War II is so fucking big was because you had one person that was considered the most evilest person in the world.
Right.
You had a fucking figure to point your fingers at.
Yeah.
And that was Hitler. Look at the war that we went through when Osama bin Laden. He was a figure. When everybody was celebrating his death, and people were talking about why did you celebrate a human being's death, it wasn't celebrating the death of a human being. It was celebrating the death of a symbol.
Yep. And we trained him, by the way. I just want to throw that out. We trained him. We trained his people.
To fight the fucking Russians in Afghanistan. I know.
We gave him weapons. We gave him money. We gave him everything he needed to be successful. And then later on...
But that's the thing. Like, when human beings see a figure of evil, of course they want it to be dead. Because that doesn't mean you just killed the humanity. But it's the symbolism behind it. Osama bin Laden in current time represented death in America. He represented death and terrorism. Now, when it came to the fact that, he didn't have much, He didn't have, fuck, I'm too drunk. But he didn't have much,
Yeah, we need to sober up.
Fuck.
For the next episode.
We need to sober up. The fucking word.
Yeah.
It's going to come to me. Basically, what I'm saying is, fuck.
That liquor, it could bring out the truth, but it can also make you forget some shit.
I'm trying to get the word. He didn't have much influence. There we go.
You got it. Good job, man.
I know, right?
Let's just get an applause for that.
He didn't have much influence on the Al-Qaeda at that time.
Right.
Now, it was being run by different parties. But still in America, and still in a bunch of people's minds, was that this motherfucker was the planner. He orchestrated the attack on 9/11. He was the one that killed thousands of people in one fucking day.
Yeah.
And by seeing him gone, that was a celebration of a symbol, not the celebration of a death of a man. We knew it was coming. Be it by either somebody killed them,
live by the sword, die by the sword,
or he died on his own, or he died due to age or whatever, health complications, whatever. Either or, it was a death of a symbol. Now, when they were saying, like, how can people celebrate the death of a human being, blah, 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 it was like, bro, it's not that. You just killed a symbol.
Exactly.
It took years for us to capture this motherfucker. And the fact that he's been on a target for the fucking U.S. for the longest, way before 9/11.
After being trained by us.
He was a fucking target.
Right.
But that happened. That shit was loud. I forgot to put my shit on Do Not Disturb. Hey, why you texting me?
Hey, it's alright, but I'm not a sympathizer of them, but it's kind of like, we know naturally with human beings is that, people abuse power. Absolute power corrupts abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, that it does. Look, there's a bunch of shit.
If you give me enough power, I'm going to end up abusing some shit. Imagine if somebody becomes a president and they're also single. A single president. You know how many women he's going to be fucking, or guys, or whatever? You know how much he's going to abuse being a single fucking president?
Here's the problem. Well, not the problem, but
that's why we need to have them married.
Motherfucker, you nailed it.
That's why they got to be married.
Because you look at it, I feel like most of America would not vote for
a single bachelor president.
Would not vote for a president that does not have a family or is not married, because they do not represent most of American people.
Right. Yeah.
Most of American people, have the nuclear family. The father, the mother, and the 3 kids or the 2 kids.
But that's true power. Not having nobody to answer to,
and not even getting advice.
Power.
Can you imagine the first time we'll get a president that there's no first lady, or what would it be named for the man if it was a woman president? It would be first
man, I guess.
I don't think it was
first guy.
I think it was first gentleman. First lady and
that
first gentleman.
That sounds good.
I forgot. It's because everybody says first man, because you think lady, you think man. But if we go more farther back in time, you had a lady that was as same. If you have a lady of noble born, a lady, she was close to basically as a gentleman.
Yeah.
Because they were gentle.
Damn,
and they were
smart.
men.
Yeah.
So they were gentlemen. In reality, they were pieces of shit.
They were pieces of shit. It's like you opening the door for your girl. You really just looking at the ass. That's why you.
No, what's funny?
Let's cut the bullshit.
I told.
That's why you open the door first to be like, hey, go through. It's to look at the ass.
It never fails. It's funny.
That's how it goes.
I got caught up a couple times with that. On a couple of dates, no bullshit. On a few dates, I ain't gonna bullshit. You know, I'm a man. And you know,
you're human, man.
I'm human. We all had our, our vices. And one of my things is when I open the door for my lady, or even before my lady on my dates and everything, open the door.
You gotta look.
You know, I'm being a gentleman. I open the door for her, so they walk on in. I'm looking at her like,
you gotta look.
Damn.
You gotta look.
Damn.
At the end of the day,
I got caught up once. It was my ex.
You fucking look.
I got caught up on my ex.
Yeah.
It was once we made things official. And she was like, I think I threw her in a corner. Right. And I'm like, you were checking me out.
Right.
She goes, I was. But you can't lie, you were checking me out.
Right.
I was like, sweetheart, when I hold the door for you in that theater that first time, damn right I was checking you out. She was staring at me. She was staring at me. You were staring at my butt. I'm like, I'm staring at everything.
Right.
She was laughing.
Facts.
That my girlfriend now, we went.
That's why we do it though.
Our first date was funny. She hits me with this all the fucking time. Our first date was. She told me that I have strong eyes, and that when we were dating, and that our first date we were at a pizza place, and it was a nice pizza. It was a wood fire pizza place. It wasn't no shitty.
Oh, that's super dope.
I wasn't at no fucking Little Caesars.
Right.
Taking a Little Caesars. Talking about you can have
Little
whatever
Caesar
you
hit
want.
the spot whenever you're like drunk, like I am right now.
Yeah, right now.
Little Caesar would hit the spot.
Cheap
and
and
get you straight.
Dude, their pan pizza's fucking fire.
It is fire. That 5 minutes to $5 for like
hot and ready for $5. My sister calls me that. My sister calls me a Little Caesar slut because I'm hot and ready for $5. I was like, bitch.
That hot and ready be fire.
Hot and ready and only $5.
And you need that shit sometimes. Sometimes you just be like, I don't need quality right now. I just need something.
No, you want to hear some bullshit?
What?
Them motherfuckers make their own sauces in shop.
Oh, wow.
So I had an insider.
They dope. I respect.
I had an insider.
You need to get sponsored by them.
I know, right? Sponsored by Little Caesars. Let me not say that shit. So
they're gonna sue the shit.
Back in high school, when me and my friends were all seniors, all of us worked like little odd jobs and shit. Yeah. So I was a janitor at a car dealership. Typical Hispanic fucking role.
That's facts. No.
And then my guy, he was working at Little Caesars.
Right.
He burned his fucking forearms.
Damn.
And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And dude, they were bad. Both sides were bad.
Damn.
So I was like, dude, what the fuck happened to your arms? He was mad this shit happened at work. I was like, what happened? That he works at Little Caesars. He goes, I did not. He was like, I thought this was bullshit. It's not. He tells me that they make their own sauces in the shop.
Wow.
And that he had to carry this huge fucking pot from one end to the other to dip in the sauce. Wow. Now this pot was huge and heavy, and he was a skinny guy. He burned his fucking wrists, and you had 2 big ass burn marks. And he was like, "This shit is painful." He had ointment on there and everything to help heal it, but it looked like 2 big ass scabs.
Shout out to Little Caesar, man.
So they actually make their own sauce. I didn't know that they make their own sauce. I thought in my head he's like, I thought they fucking had their sauce delivered and we just warm it up and throw it on the pizza. No, we gotta make it in shop on our own. So he makes the sauce. He was the sauce boss.
Right. I respect that, man.
He was the fucking sauce boss.
Shout out to Little Caesars. Like, I'm not even gonna shit on y'all. That $5. The
only thing I don't like about their pizza is it's too much dough. One thing about me is
I'm not even gonna hate on that. Fuck that.
I don't like too much bread.
I take it,
bro. Even my sandwiches, I hate too much bread. I take it. When I go to Subway, any places, there's flatbread. I rather take flatbread. Not too much bread. And when the pizzas, come on, being Chicago born, thin crust is the way to go. I ain't that fucking. I hate thick ass bread with my pizza because it's like, yo, what the hell? It's just, it's all bread. That's all you taste. You don't taste the cheese and the meats and the toppings.
All right,
oh god, I feel better.
Yeah, there you go. You need to get that out of your body. But listen, bro, those fucking like bread mozzarella sticks are on point though.
Caesar has mozzarella sticks?
Or I might be too drunk. I might be tweaking.
What they have is the breadsticks, the cheesy breadsticks.
I remember breadsticks, and they are fire. I remember something from them, and it was so goddamn good.
No. They have their crazy bread, which I do enjoy every now and then. I wish it was much. For me, here's the
I don't know what
part.
it's called,
I wish
but
it was
it's
a little bit
so
more
goddamn good.
I wish it was a little bit more oily with the garlic and everything on top.
Damn, that shit was delicious.
But one thing that I really, really love, and they're on par, I want to say it's them and fucking Pizza Hut when it comes to their breadsticks. Little Caesar fucking knocks out the park with their cheesy breadsticks.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, shit.
That's what I was talking about. I didn't know it because I'm fucked up, but that's it, bro. Fucking fire. The greatest shit ever made in fucking humanity.
So, growing up...
They are not fucking around with those
Growing up, my mother would
bro.
always buy us Little Caesars or whatever, cheap pizza.
God,
that's good. I never noticed. My mama only fed us with it. She never really ate it. She hates that pizza. When it comes... my mother's a true Chicagoan. When it comes to pizza, it needs to be from an actual pizza joint. Not no fucking one of these fast food chains.
Like from Italian Fiesta or some shit. Yeah.
It got to be from a fast food joint. And it got to be a name one. So, for example, there's a father and son. Father and son have been in the neighborhood for decades.
Yeah, they're good.
They're leaving. I'm mad. Wow. They're leaving. They've been here for decades. We always order pizza. My mother loves it.
Them so keep going.
I know. They're leaving. And
I'm sobering up, so it's getting better.
Good. You need some bread? Want me to get some chips?
Yes,
get some food?
Yes.
I'll be back with some Doritos. I'll bring some Doritos.
Because I definitely need something. I need to soak up this damn alcohol.
I'll bring you some
3
Doritos.
shots on,
Right,
and all I ate was a sandwich.
As I go, I'm take a piss. Hey, listen to this. Oh, bro, motherfucker. When I go to LA and me and Mark do the podcast there,
yeah,
we're interviewing his mama.
I know. I remember you told me.
Bro, I can't wait to fucking...
Because she's a comedian, right?
She's her and Mark. Mark has been fucking... He's been talking about his stand-up on the podcast, hoping people will go. Now, I want this shit to get big.
Because if it get big, it only benefits...
I need help from your ass with your population.
I'm down. With my, 3 people, I got you.
With your 3 motherfuckers on your website.
Or 20 people, I got you. I got a solid 20.
On your website, at least point a link to my podcast. Come on, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I need to figure that shit out and get that shit taken care of.
Live.
You definitely know where I live.
I just don't know. I don't remember a floor or a phone number, but I know where you live.
I'm safe then. You know, I'm not gonna say shit now. You fucked up.
Yeah, I know I fucked up. That ain't gonna stop me from sitting outside in the front smoking a cigarette, talking about.
I'm going through the back door. Fuck that.
I know where you live. Your motherfucking directory in front can tell me your fucking room number.
Damn, that is true. My director
would
would
to walk out with their dog to walk on in, jump in that motherfucking elevator and be like,
yeah, motherfucker, what's up?
I know where this motherfucker's room at. Next you're gonna be sitting there with a fucking spaz swell talking about, I got the shotgun. I'll be right there behind the door with a 1911 talking about, you ain't want no problems, homie.
Right.
Hey.
And be like, all right, my bad.
I got an M1911. What's up? You gonna be like, I got a Spaz 12. What's going on? Now, for them folks who don't know what these guns I'm talking about is, an M1911 is a pistol that uses a 45 APC ammo.
Facts.
A Spaz 12 uses a 12 gauge cartridge of a shotgun, which means if these guys have hit me once,
right,
in any part of my body, and I'm fucked. With the M1911, I just gotta hit him in his chest once, and he's done.
Wait, quick question: do you know about weapons? Because we could talk about that shit next.
Oh, homie, don't get me started.
Because I have a story when I was younger about some Latin Kings about me shooting a MAC-10. We need to talk about that shit.
And I got stories when I was in school. How old was I?
And then I can talk about my go-to weapon. I don't have a gun now, but I still have a go-to gun.
Which got me in trouble when I was in 4th grade in school.
Oh shit! 4th grade? You had an AK and shit.
Motherfucker, no.
AK at 4.
All right, I'm gonna go bring you your chips, but first I gotta take a piss.
All right,
keep them
So
coming.
chips and piss. All right.
Chips? What the fuck?
We're sponsored by Chips and Piss.
Oh god,
you know?
that sounds like a party.
That sounds like an amazing bar. All right, so So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're sponsored by Chips and Piss. And what we do is we provide the best chips in the world. Whether there are exotic Doritos, exotic Funyuns, we have everything. And you can also take a piss at this facility. So it's very important that you all go to Chips and Piss. Also, fish and chips, you could also get that there too. It's pretty amazing. You get full, you drink a lot, you get to pee. It's perfectly fine. But that's all I want to say. Chips and Piss. Alright, so that was our new sponsor.
So yeah, we're just sponsored by Chips and Piss. D's over here munching on to sober up. He got a little chip inside of his lip. Other side. Well, I would just say this is the end of this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. All of our contact information is down below. Please join. Contact us, follow us. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.